It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday. It's Friday Eve. You are listening to Truth in the Morning. It is your girl, DT, with the legendary Homer Blow. And let me just say this for our Truth Nation family that is watching Homer and I live. You can stream and watch Homer and I live this morning. All of your favorite Truth Nation shows by just simply going to YouTube and searching for 101.7 The Truth. Now, for those that are watching, let me just clarify something before we get started. I am only sitting in this catbird seat, which is the main seat, the anchor seat. I am only sitting in this seat because Homer, who is one of my mentors, the legendary Homer Blow, instructed me to sit in this seat. So, Homer, I had to say that because I didn't want anybody thinking like, I don't think she can sit in the main. Homer instructed me to because I have the utmost respect for this living national staple leader, one of the best to do it, gets flued out, receives awards from all over the country, Homer Blow. So, Homer, I want to let them know that you told me to sit here.
I absolutely did. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm transmitting here because I'm not. But anyway, I absolutely did tell her that I wanted her to be in that chair. She has earned the right to be in that chair. And just with your professionalism, your knowledge, your wisdom, and your time, even here at Good Karma Brands with the Truth,
but you're Homer Blow.
Okay. Do you remember the name? Do you remember the name of the morning show before you moved to some of the other areas of Good Karma Brand?
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
What did you say?
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
Okay, what was that first name?
DT.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Homer, I appreciate that. And I hope that Truth Nation understands the influence that you've had on, not just from a talk radio standpoint, but broadcasting journalism, whether it's disc jockey. See, a lot of folks, we got to do better. We got to teach our younger people about disc jockey. You know what I'm saying? And the whole legacy of being a DJ. It wasn't just at a party on the ones and twos,
right?
Being a disc jockey on radio, especially urban radio, when we start to have urban radio stations,
absolutely,
they didn't always exist. I remember, Homer, growing up in Evansville, Indiana, the only access that my age had to black radio, this is before black entertainment television, by the way, too. There was no BET, was broadcasted from the University of Evansville, WUEV, and it broadcasted every weekday from like 7 to 10. That was the only time that local Evansville residents would get access to black radio.
Wow.
And I know you remember
Absolutely.
that there were certain markets that did not have urban radio.
At all.
And so when we would drive, my father would drive us to Indianapolis for Circle City Classic. The first thing, as soon as we hit that county line is whatever the black radio or urban radio station is in Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. But I bring that up because you have so much experience. You've seen the evolution of urban radio and the impact that radio had on black culture.
Absolutely.
And so for that, I have to like bow down to you because you still do it. Mm-hmm. And you make it look effortless, but there's so much that goes behind that. And I've learned so much from you, Homer. So y'all don't know, let me put you up on game. Homer has been so kind to me to the point where we've been on the phone for like hours.
That part.
And Homer is just in a very healthy and non-judgmental, supportive, encouraging, uplifting way of saying, consider this. Try this. This is why it will matter. This is why it will work. This is why it will further elevate your brand, DT. And I try to be a good student. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of folks, I don't take advice from people who aren't doing better than me. And I tell my children the same thing. But Homer Blow, get my notepad and my pencil. So thank you, Homer. I just had to tell Truth Nation. Homer told me to sit. He instructed me to sit in this seat.
Absolutely. But again, like I say, when we are doing what we do, and especially when you love what you do, then you want to see the growth. You know what I mean? You know that there's a place. So when you do what you do, you know, there's a place for me. I know that there's going to be a place for me. I know how to create spaces for me. I want to be able to see people flourish and elevate themselves to where they too understand that, wow, this is what he means by dedicating yourself to it. Not just half playing with it. Like, when some people ask me, you know, to mentor them in the DJ game or just in different areas, I say, are you trying to get this information for just a hobby, or are you really dedicated to it? Because if you're not dedicated to it, then I'm not going to waste my time, because I'm trying to mentor people who will be able to further us along and take us and make sure that there's still black voices in radio, great voices. And DT, that's one of the things that you possess, in my opinion, that everybody doesn't have. It's called gray, being gray in radio. So that means when you are listening to your radio, and wherever you may be, if you were emceeing a program, if you were doing the BET Awards like MC Light,
you better manifest.
You end up.
I received that.
You would say, okay, is she black or is she white? That's gray. That's called gray in radio. And when you are gray, you can go anywhere. You can
I've never heard that term before.
Yes, it's called being gray.
Okay.
Because it's the middle. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you could be at a country station, you could be at a rock station, and people would fall in love with you, and until they see you. Yeah, until
I'm thinking of the Martin episode
live in person, and be like, and they'll tell you, they'll be like, I didn't know you were black.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because the older I'm becoming, my voice is getting deeper. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, however I sound at this point, listen. But in all seriousness, Homer, many of us, if not all of the smart radio personalities and media talent, we stand on your shoulders. So thank you for everything. So I just had to say that before we get into our topics for today, because optics are everything. And I didn't want Truth Nation to be like, I know Denise did not sit. No, Homer, the living legend, the legendary Homer Blow, instructed me too. Homer and I have a lot of great topics for you today. If y'all got any family, Homer, I don't know if you got any cousins or kinfolk in Missouri, but you may want to call and check on them, because someone from Missouri claimed half of that super mega billion-dollar payout Powerball.
Absolutely. And of course, if they don't have immediate family. They're going to become family. Like, don't you?
What's up, cuz?
Yeah, you remember? Okay, they're going to come with a common name. You know what I'm saying? Mary Simmons, right? You know. Now, you don't know your own family.
Right,
you don't know your own
it's
family.
Cousin Pete.
Aw.
Well, when we come back, we're going to get into the Missouri winner that claims half of the massive $1.78 billion Powerball jackpot. Also, Homer, now, this is where I'm going to need you to keep me in line because sometimes, there's a lot of sensitivity going on right now.
Absolutely.
Well, Microsoft, we reported this a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week, actually. Microsoft is building not one, but two major data centers.
Absolutely.
Which is going to require a lot of resources, including power, like power, utility power, and
Absolutely.
also manpower. Well, the people of Caledonia have spoken, and when I heard the reaction, there were some racial undertones, Homer, and I might be overreacting, so I want to share this with you in Truth Nation and be like, DT, calm down.
I don't want your cat out here close down. You know it's going to bring some of the old people. And we have like a nice little community here. And our community, the traffic, that I see, they like the traffic.
That's what so we're going to play, Andrew, I don't know, can we, and shout out to good morning to our amazing producer, Andrew.
Absolutely.
Let's see if we can find the sound clip from that town hall, for lack of better words. Also, number 3, we've got a special guest that's going to be joining us all the way from Taiwan. Not Taiwan, Kentucky. Yes, Taiwan in China. So we've got a lot of great stuff for you. What'd you say?
What time is it in Taiwan?
It is current time in Taiwan. I would think it's, what,
like
11 p.m.?
Yeah.
So they're about to be in their Friday mode.
Yeah.
We got a great show for y'all, so stay locked in. You are listening to Truth in the Morning with the legendary Homer Blow and your girl DT, the effective communication coach. We're going to get into our cousins sub of the day. So who are you today, Homer?
I'm a club sub.
You're a club sub?
A club sub.
Am I still steak and cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the steak and cheese club sub of the day. Cousins sub of the day. Stay locked in. We got a great show for you. It is Friday Eve, y'all, or some of you may say Friday Junior. Either way, Friday is right around the corner. Stay locked in. This is the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth. 1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky businesses will win an opportunity for a monthly spotlight interview. Yes, you will win 3 interviews on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your business's chance to be highlighted on The Truth for 3 months, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
School's back in session. Kids have their backpacks, school supplies, and new clothes. But are you ready as a parent? Families are the single most important factor in a child's academic success. This year, get to know your child's teachers. Stay engaged with their learning. Don't be shy about asking questions along the way. Because as a parent, you are your child's first and most important teacher. Learn more about how City Forward Collective is helping families, students, and schools thrive at cityforwardcollective.org.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Server restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
You may go ahead and say it. Go ahead, Homer. We don't say back here. That's the truth.
You're going to learn today.
It's Milwaukee Black Talk, not back talks. We going to say we're
black
all day, every day. Shoot. Now, I will say this, though, Homer. If the Missouri winner that just claimed half of the massive $1.78 billion Powerball jackpot is not black, would you say I'm gray?
Yeah.
I'm going to be gray that day.
That's right. And, I be, to the people who say that they'll take the lifetime payments, that should be somebody that's 20-some years old. Damn, if cash me out. Cash me out. Cash me outside.
You don't even care about the Uncle Sam, big Uncle Sam.
No, because one, I have more money than I've ever imagined that I would actually have. And, life is not promised. So I'm getting ready to enjoy myself. But what I am going to do that some people don't do, I'm not going to just go outrageous. If I've been able to have a comfortable life off of what I have now, I know I don't have to have the house built from the ground. There's already homes that are built that has all of the extra amenities that I would need. So I don't need to build a house up from the ground up. No, I don't need that. And if I needed something to be modified, I just remodel that particular portion. But there are people who had the same vision that I had. Be like, oh, it's got this. Oh, it's got that. And so I wouldn't be extravagant on that. I would definitely, set some of my children up to where they're going to be straight. I don't know if I.
You know what? That's a good question. So let me ask this question to Truth Nation, and I'm gonna pull a Homer blow and give some folks some shout outs. Good morning, Gabrielle. Good morning, Lorena. Good morning, Venus. We got Gwendolyn in the building. Kim, RN Kawanda. What's up, ladies? 50 and Fit with Mick. Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, Sincere Ronnie Ray Real. Good morning, and always my girl, not really a city girl. Good morning, good morning. So I got a question. I'm gonna start with you, Homer. So Truth Nation, because Homer just dropped a really interesting point. If you had $1.78 billion in your pocket, and by the way, just so you know, we're talking about a jaw-dropping headline because out of all the places in America, Missouri has a brand new multi-billionaire in the making. That's right. One winner has stepped out to claim half. Now, y'all know I'm public school. Andrew, what's half of $1.78 billion? You know I'm public school, so. Okay, so somebody just in Missouri, $750 million. Let me just say that one more again for the folks in the back.
That's right.
One person just changed their entire family's legacy in a single night. Like that, you talk about generational wealth.
Absolutely.
So, Homer, as you had mentioned, because I don't know about y'all, but I cannot imagine what it would be like to go from everyday life to overnight billionaire status. I mean, it's just like you go into the convenience store, the gas station, you buy one ticket, boom! Your bank account is looking like Jeff Bezos' little cousin.
Right.
So here's my question, Milwaukee, Truth Nation. I'm going to start with you, Homer. You've already let us know that you're going to take the lump sum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm taking the lump sum.
But let's be real, because you know every cousin, every long-lost friend, every investment pitch, hey, man, I got a deal for you. Yeah. That's coming on your door. But the Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. Call in or text. And I'm going to start with Homer. What's the first thing you would do if you hit that kind of money? And would you focus more on your family in terms of your children's children? Or would you invest in Milwaukee schools, housing, and small businesses? Or would you just keep it strictly personal and private? Those are the three options, y'all. What are we doing? Because what is it, $750 million?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're bringing home.
Right.
So are you keeping it private? Are you going to, honor some of these investment pitches? Are you going to make sure your children's children? What are we doing?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is get me the best accountant in the world. So I'm going to make sure that whatever I'm choosing to do, that all the I's are going to be dotted and the T's are going to be crossed. Before I make a move, like, hold on, I don't want to be like Ron Isley, decades later in his career, having to go to prison for tax evasion.
Wesley
and all
Snipes.
Of those things. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So
they tried to get our brother Red Fox, but he passed away before.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So once I do that, but for me, it would be all of the above.
So all of the above?
All of the above. Because I have money that I would never be able to take with me. So if I can create some legacies and some foundations for people, better educate, because we can't talk about all of the different problems that ail our communities and not be a part of the solution. So knowing that I could invest in schools, community centers, things to that nature, being able to make sure that my children's children will be great. Those things, all of those things are important. And I'll have my personal. I've made life good.
Yes.
With just where I'm at now.
See, I
got
that.
$750 million. Come on.
And on our YouTube message board, my bad, Gabrielle. No, so you have to give me the phonetics. Because when you say Gabriel, not Gabriel, I can't hear you. You're typing it. So I want to make sure that I pronounce your name correctly. So just give me the phonetics.
He's the one that blew the trumpet.
Okay, yeah. Because
in the spiritual world.
I love how he's saying, say it this way. I'm like, I can't hear you. So
Gabriel,
either you call
roll
in.
Your horn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gabriel.
Someone said you have to know how to invest it, though. The money goes fast. Ken RYU says invest in real estate privately. RN Kawanda says accounting lawyer, invest, pay off debt. And if you've been rocking and rolling with me from the good, bad, and the ugly, just know we straight. I like that. Now, let's get a little bit more.
Yeah, because with an accountant, they're going to be able to look at, that's why I said accountant first, a great one. They're going to be able to look at all your assets and where you at and be like, look, first off, you need to make sure this is taken care of and that's taken care of.
Right. So I got another question for you, Homer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into the trust and loyalty.
We can sip to this.
Let's sip to it.
It ain't even Friday, but
let's sip to this. Well, let me get into your head a little bit more.
Okay.
With everybody that you know, Homer, and you know a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm. Some of them ain't getting a dime. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That actually is part of the question. So who would be the first person you tell once you know that you won? Like, you just got the notification.
My wife.
Okay, that's the first person you're telling. Mm-hmm. Now, watch this, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, really? Who are you not? Who are you not telling?
It was Gabe, Ken, Felicia, Rashawn, about 3 Kims, Latoya, and Tina.
Right? Because here's the thing.
So a lot of people ain't telling.
How do you decide? Because I know RN Kawanda, she just said,
tell you.
Thank you.
Because you're an effective communicator.
I don't know if you want to tell me.
I'm going to tell you because I'm going to invest in you. Yeah.
Homer, you gonna make me cry.
I'm serious.
Thank you.
You'd have your own Learjet to fly when you needed to fly. I'm just saying. Things that I'd be like, DT, and this is before you would know that I was the winner. What are some things that would really help you continue to elevate yourself? Like right now, if something could just change your life, what things do you need to continue to excel and do better? And you talk
such
about,
a great question.
I've got time. I really want to be and this, and then getting to the airport and this, that, and you tell me all of that, and then my accountant is there and says, looking at what this would be, and this, just like Andrew broke it down on what half of that would be.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Andrew's light skinned. He knew that number right off. He was like, 750 million.
Right.
That's why I love my white friends, man. You gotta have white friends, man, because we're for the accountant, right. And I'm like, I'm just playing. No, I'm not. All right, we come back for break. I want to hear more from you, Homer, and I also want to know, because here's the thing.
Well, we got a guest coming.
We do have a guest coming. Yeah. We've got Al, so we're going to hear from Al, because I know Al is going to break it down in terms of what and what not to do.
Absolutely.
If and when he wins the Powerball jackpot. So my question is, what's the very first thing you'd stop doing tomorrow if you suddenly had billionaire money? And hopefully Al can give us some insight when we come back. You are listening to Truth in the Morning with your girl DT and the legendary, your cousin sub of the day, club sub Homer Blow. Stay locked in. We will be back.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Pull up to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and shoot your shot at big wins for Sweet Ticket September. Play with your rewards card for entries. Score triple on Drawing Thursday. Win slam dunk prizes like cash, reward plate, and tickets to see the Milwaukee Bucks in action. Sweet Ticket September. You ready for this? Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Make every day extraordinary with something special from Wisconsin. From artisan cheeses to fresh produce to maple syrup, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection's Something Special from Wisconsin program is proud to work with member businesses that certify their Wisconsin-made and processed products. Look for the red and yellow sticker and visit somethingspecialfromwisconsin.com to find member businesses and products made with care, quality, and love. Sponsored by Wisconsin DATCP.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
Juneteenth signifies the occasion in 1865 when the final enslaved blacks in Texas were notified of their liberation 2.5 years subsequent to the Emancipation Proclamation. The moment when 100% of victims of slavery finally recognized their liberation indicated the principles of the U.S. Constitution came to be universally applicable. This represents a success for Black Americans and a subsequent and significant point in American history, highlighting the nation's alleged dedication to liberty and justice for all. The recent verdict in the murder of Sade Robinson serves as a reminder of the enduring evils and oppression we still face. Despite independence, numerous blacks still encounter exploitation, and they are masquerading as freedom. Commemorating Juneteenth compels us all to acknowledge these realities and compel the nation's past and promote a truthful national narrative. Juneteenth, along with the murder conviction of the disgusting individual who killed Miss Robinson, serves not merely as a celebration, but also as a summons to action. Remember this history in your daily discussions and interactions. If Juneteenth caused the conflation of liberty and justice for Black America, I say one death represented by the murder of Miss Robinson is a denial of liberty and an injustice to all of Black America.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
We've got backups on southbound 43 right now from Capitol Drive, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down towards Lincoln. The northbound side backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to North Avenue. Southbound on 41, heavy from just south of Main Street, Menominee Falls to Good Hope Road, back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Hampton. Northbound slowing down from Mayfair Road up to Capitol Drive. Southbound on the bypass, you got backups heading right through the zoo all the way down to Lincoln and again from Oklahoma into the Hale. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, slight chance for a lakeside shower, mostly cloudy, a low of 57. Tomorrow, slight chance for lakeside showers, becoming mostly sunny, a high of 70. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Somebody in Missouri is now living really nice in terms of monetary wealth. So, if y'all have not already heard, a Missouri winner claims half of the massive $1.78 billion Powerball jackpot. And we've been talking about, hey, that were me. First of all, who we telling, who we not telling? Are we going to focus more on our family? We're going to focus more on our community? Or are we just going to make it private? And Truth Nation is going bananas. Christopher Goodwin says on the Truth Talking text line, Homer, I would take the lump sum and then take half and set up a legal fund and hire the best lawyers to take the case for reparations for Black people to the United Nations and litigate our case against America.
Well, you can hold the applause because
oh my God, not Obama.
That investment would not help you to successfully succeed, and I would have lost my life in vain. But I have a dream.
Damn.
That one day we will understand. In order to be free at last,
thank God Almighty.
We're free at last. You got to work with your mind first. You got to free your mind, and the rest will follow. We're going to take Al, then we got to go. We got a special guest.
We do. So let's hear. I know Al's going to drop some entertaining and informative nuggets. Al, thank you so much for your patience.
Okay.
For your patience. You are live with the legendary Homer Blow and your girl DT. What is your question or comment?
Well, my comment is take care of the immediate family, other family who ain't no good. Let them rot. Your kids set their money up. Let the kids set up a trust fund for them, but let it be in writing. If you decide to get married, it has to be a prenup. If you get married and there's no prenup signed, you relinquish all your finances. They come back to me, and you, your wife, or you or your husband can start from the bottom because they married you. They didn't marry my money. Also, I will also say to you, DT, if you marry a rich man.
When? When,
sure
Al? Say it right. Come on, brother Al. When, not if.
It's coming very soon.
Yes, thank you.
But you got to get the money off the top, because if he marries somebody prior and they set the money up in a trust fund, you're not going to get nothing. You got to watch out for the family members, because they will have you investigated because they are already vultures. So get your money off the top, and you will fly like an eagle with the white doves, because a lot of those family members who come with wealth are nothing but clothes, and they will never be there until he take his last breath. Get the money on the top, and you don't give a damn who's on the bottom. Get it off the top. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Love you, Al.
Al was like, get it off the top. I know that's right, Al. I'm going to make a note. Siri, can you make a note for me to call Al after the show and get some more financial literacy advice?
Right.
Man, so on our YouTube message board, Homer, Lorena says, I wouldn't tell anyone. I would set up a trust for my kids and provide for those closest to me. Kim says, first, 10% to God, church, MACC fund for my son that passed away with cancer. Kim, please accept my sincerest condolences. St. Jude and Children's Hospital, diabetic and kidney centers, trust fund for my grown kids and grandchildren. And that sounds like a pretty solid plan, Homer.
Andrew, what is 10% of 750 million.
Tell you, man, your white friends they're like a human calculator.
Yeah.
7.5?
Come on, Andrew.
7.5.
I think that's 10%.
Has God been
Carry the one. Don't look at me. I told you, I'm Evansville Public School.
Hey, I ain't gonna get controversial.
What do you mean?
I'll be like, has God been that good? Okay.
Listen, before we go to our special guest, I got to say this. This is hilarious. I was at a church, and it's here in Milwaukee. I'm not going to say the name of the church nor the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
But
75.
Okay. Andrew, for you to be light-skinned, that was a little slow. Do better, okay? Because me and Homer could have did that.
Right.
We have white friends for a reason. Come on, be quick. Let's go. Let's go, Andrew. Sliffman. Now, when I say light-skinned, I need you to be more on the gray.
I should have said chop, chop, and we got a guest caller from Taiwan. Okay.
Right.
Chop,
it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, chop, chop.
And so he said, some of y'all been asking me whether do I tithe based on my gross income or my net income? And so he says to the congregation, do you want a gross blessing or a net blessing? I was weak. I was like, dude, that was the hardest comeback. Mm-hmm. That was the hardest comeback I have ever heard in my life. He was like, do you want a net blessing or a gross blessing? Okay, right, Lorena? Everybody's dying. Okay, so here's the deal. Speaking of winning a lot of money,
I'm just saying.
We've got a special, and I mean special guest who is dialing in. We're going to see him on our YouTube board here in a second. He is joining us all the way, and this is live, y'all, from Taiwan in China. He is the founder and owner of the Travel Junkies. Now, this is a organization, company that is built of a team of a variety of business leaders across the nation who have a passion for traveling, empowering communities, as well as giving people that typically would not have just nowhere to start to experience the world. And I've actually been on a group travel trip with Travel Junkies.
Okay.
One of the best experiences in my life. And that's actually how I first started or got introduced to travel. So without further ado, calling in and joining us on our video channel, Travel Junkies founder and owner, Craig Henry. Good morning, Craig. You're with Homer and DT.
Craig Henry.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear and see you. How are you?
Okay. All right. How's it? And slight correction.
Please.
I am not in Taiwan any longer. I am in South Korea. So.
Oh, that's when you know you bad. That's when you know you bad. Oh, excuse me.
I'm no longer in Taiwan.
I'm not in Taiwan.
South Korea. Get it right.
Right. Look, whatever you say, Craig, we're living in your world.
Brother. You fly.
Right? So let me just share why Craig is on our show today, Homer. A lot of us have been considering whether or not we want to stay in the United States. That's one. A lot of us are also saying that, you know what? It's a whole lot better on the other side than it is here. I may have to just get up and go pack. And I was having this conversation with Craig, and Craig was like, you know what? There's a lot of misconceptions about living abroad, traveling abroad, especially right now. So, Craig, in addition to, and we're going to get into the leisure experiences that your company provides, but what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you can address as it relates to the current temperature and the current climate of folks saying that I don't want to be in America anymore. I don't want to live here anymore.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is tourist area versus the local area. And also, too, some simple as running water. People say that they want to live certain places, but then when they go to those places and realize, wait a minute, my shower is not hot, or the power goes out at just random times a day for like 2-3 hours at a time and stuff like that, then you realize sometimes how good you got it in America. So I think those are some of the biggest misconceptions. Obviously, you have to, lend that to like a lot with the explosion of social media and a lot of influencers. They'll go out and they'll show you all the good. They'll show you the flying dresses. They'll show you like the best resorts and all of that stuff like that. But nobody takes you into the neighborhood so you can see how living really is. And so I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Social media will have you thinking it's peaches, rainbows, and roses, when in reality is no running water, is no hot water, and it's blackouts.
How is it in those in those local communities?
Well, people make it work, homie. That's one of the things that I will say about when you travel. You get a newfound respect for people when you go see other cultures, because you realize when you go to some of these second and third world countries that people don't have a lot. But one thing they do have is smiles, and they just have a very good sense of themselves in terms of, hey, this is my life. This is how I'm living. I'm not trying to compete. So I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses and have a Range Rover, Benz, Beamer, and all of that stuff like that. I got everything I need right here. I got a roof over my head. I got some water, or I got access to go down to the well to get some water and all of that stuff like that. And they love it. So, like I said, when you go into a lot of these local communities, you'll be surprised at how people are living. And then you'll be surprised at how they react to how they're living, how they're living.
You're listening to Craig Henry, who is founder and owner of the Travel Junkies company. Before we get into leisure travel, also wanted to ask you, Craig, because a lot of folks right now are looking into their passport, visa, and travel authorization. There's a lot of focus on ICE. So, and quite frankly, a lot of people don't understand the risks. And so, as you travel all over the world frequently, what are some things that people should be aware of as it relates to traveling international? For those that are considering dual citizenship, is that something that should they even be trying to apply for as it relates to? Because I think Trump just issued an HE-1B fine or cost.
The HB1 visa. Yeah.
So can you talk to us about folks that are thinking about, hey, applying for a passport or considering dual citizenship, visas? Where are we at right now with that from your lens?
Well, I think you brought up some good points. So let me address it like this. Number one, if you don't have a passport, I believe everybody, you should go get one if you can, because the education that you'll get outside of your bubble in terms of like the United States is phenomenal. You'll just start learning things that you never even thought about. As a matter of fact, you'll have to unlearn a lot of things as well, too, once you start seeing things outside of the world. So number one, if you don't have a passport and you have the ability to get one, please go get one and travel. Number two, dual citizenship, that could help in certain circumstances. So for example, how like sometimes you have a lot of people that may be children of immigrants. So like, let's say your parents may be from Guatemala or Colombia or Costa Rica, but you were born in the States. And you know how that goes. So you're here in the States and you're doing your life here, but your parents, aunties, uncles, and all that, they're still at home in Costa Rica, Guatemala, and all of that. Well, in a situation like that, that might benefit a person that may need to get dual citizenship, because you need to go back and forth to different countries, to both of those countries quite often, because you got parents, you got family over there. And what that dual citizenship allows you to do is it allows you to freely enter that country and just kind of roam around with no issues. So I'll give you a perfect example. Remember when COVID happened back in 2020?
Yes.
And all of the countries were just kind of locking down their borders and all that stuff like that. Well, if you had dual citizenship, you still could have access. Let's say Costa Rica, you still could get in and out of Costa Rica because you are technically a citizen or a resident. So as a resident, having residency, they couldn't deny you entry because that is, you're a resident there or you have citizenship. So that's one of the benefits of having residency or dual citizenship. Another benefit, obviously, there's some financial benefit for it, So there are a lot of wealthy individuals.
Right there, because that's the key word. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Craig Henry, founder and owner of the Travel Junkies. There's a lot of us right now that are considering traveling abroad, visa and travel authorization. Are there any security risk or travel issues that we should be concerned about getting back into the U.S.? So we've got the Travel Junkie founder and owner himself. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get into what other things that we should be aware of or even concerned about, or even consider as it relates to traveling and even living abroad, because more of us are thinking about that every day. This is Truth in the Morning with the legendary Homer Blow and your girl DT on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. We'll be back.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind and Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas or visit mso.org.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/MilwaukeeWI.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
We're black. Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Of course, we're inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. I am your cousin sub of the day. I'm a club sub.
Hey.
The legendary Home of Blow, along with
your cousin sub of the day, Steak and Cheese DT, coming to you, as Homer had mentioned, live from the American Family Insurance Studio. Now let's go back to our guest. We are having a great conversation with founder and owner of the Travel Junkies. Now, this is a Black-owned international global brand that what I love about the Travel Junkies, and we're going to get more into how you can get in contact with Craig, because I know a lot of us, we're ready to go. Mm-hmm. We just need a break.
Right.
We need to get our passports, but there are some misconceptions. So, Craig, before break, we were getting to the financial aspects of that we should be considering as we're preparing either to, as you had mentioned, get our passport, visas, other authorization documents that you need when you're especially traveling abroad or international. So, Craig, pick up where you left off, brother, because folks are tuned in. They are leaning in because we need to know this.
Residency outside the United States, or maybe even some citizenship. Now, also too, there are some things that come along with that. When you're talking citizenship or residency, there's some monetary stipulation that comes along with that, especially with citizenship. You want to do citizenship in another country, there's going to be some financial impact. You have to make a financial investment. So, for example, let's say if you're trying to be a citizen in like France or something like that, or a citizen in Costa Rica or something like that, those governments want you to put up like a significant investment, sometimes $75,000, sometimes $150,000, just to be able to get your citizenship. There are also other ways around that. So, for example, if you're trying to do residency again in some of these countries, let's say like Colombia, Costa Rica, some other Central and South American countries, you can do what's called a retirement visa. So, like if you're a person that worked for, like, let's say NYPD, or you worked for JCPenney and Sears or Montgomery Ward, and you retired, well, then you can use your retirement as your way into the country to get residency. There's also, you can put, like, some countries you can put as low as like $60,000, $65,000 in the bank, let it sit, and then they'll allow you to get residency. Or you can just go the old-fashioned way, just marry a local, and you can become a resident that way. Go. So it's all types of ways that you can become a resident.
Let's do the local thing. Let's do that.
Because everything else sounded too. Yeah, black folks ain't got time for all that. Look, we just want to get to the east. So yeah, find you a. I'm just playing. I'm just playing Craig. Yes,
Craig, are you already married? Because I'm sure somebody could say, "Well, I'm going to marry Craig because Craig got the hookup."
Yeah, Craig, are you married?
Of course I am. You know what?
Actually, I've met ladies, Craig's wife. Right. Ladies, he's off the market, and she is beautiful. I could and intelligent. So I get why Craig, but we're digressing. So Craig, here's the thing. From your lens, because you have traveled literally, your global footprint, it exceeds way beyond mine. Mm-hmm. Top 3 gains from traveling abroad, and top 3, you need to know this. And the reason why I'm saying it that way, Craig, is because one of our Truth Nation viewers, and so she's watching you right now, she said that black girl is still in jail in Dubai for talking ghetto to a guard. Bet she's regretting going verbally toxic in a country that don't play that. So top 3 gains and top 3 things that we should be aware of, that when you travel abroad, probably shouldn't do this.
That part.
Yeah. Well, top 3 gains, the number one gain is just, education. I mean, like I said earlier, when you step outside of your bubble, when you leave the United States and go other places, you're going to learn so many things, and then again, you're going to have to unlearn so many things as well, too. I'll give you a perfect example. How the Taj Mahal, everybody understands about the Taj Mahal. We've been reading about it ever since we were kids and all of that. The guy who constructed the Taj Mahal, he did it as a shrine to his wife, So like when you go to the Taj Mahal, they have you walk in and you walk around the shrine where he and his wife are supposedly enshrined, right? Buried. Well, that's not the real shrine, So a lot of people didn't know. The building is real, but that shrine upstairs, when you walk around, it's a replica. The real shrine is down in the basement, but they'll never let you go down there because it's too dangerous. So those are some of the type of things that you learn too when you start to travel. You learn about like certain monuments and things like that, how they're not really the monument, like the equator in Ecuador. When you go to Ecuador, they have this whole little theme park, so to speak, with the whole equator with the yellow line that separates the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. That's not the real equator. The real equator is somewhere in the mountains, and people can't get up there. So, hey, it's that whole, if you build it, they will come. So let's just build this whole little center, put a line down the middle of the damn street and tell everybody this is the north side, this is the, and so those are some of the things that you learn. So those are some of the gains. Touching a little bit about what the caller said about the girl in Dubai. She probably is still in jail. I don't know. I think I remember that. But one of the things that you can
it was the rental car. Remember,
learn
the rental
or
car
glean
counter?
from that is
one
of the things that you can learn or glean from that is just making sure that you learn a little bit about customs when you go to certain places, because everybody is not going to be on your same sheet of music from wherever you may be from. So, it behooves you when you go to Dubai or when you go to, Kathmandu or when you go to Malaysia, learn a little bit about their customs so you don't find yourself out there inadvertently doing something that you're not supposed
Craig,
to do.
Let me ask you this. So let's just say Homer and I, we've been invited to broadcast live from Budapest. How how do we find out? Where do we go to learn about the do's and the don'ts of traveling? And just from your experience, so since the new administration has taken leadership over the U.S., I shouldn't say over, but that's what it feels like sometimes.
Yep.
And you have your U.S. passport. How are other countries responding to travelers like yourself when you enter customs and you show them that you have a U.S. passport? So has there been any pushback or, hey, you're an American, you come over here? Or is it still pretty much the same in terms of how people are receiving Americans who are visiting other countries?
And that's a very great question. I mean, to answer your question point blank, people are still receiving, other countries are still receiving people with American passports with no problem. There's a group out there called the Henley Group. It's a consulting agency, and they specialize in helping high net worth individuals relocate to different countries, right? But they also put out a passport power index ranking every year. The new one that just came out a few weeks ago, it has the U.S. passport ranked at number 10 in terms of like the most powerful passport. I think like Singapore or Japan or something was number 1 and 2, but United States is number 10. Now, to a lot of people, that just means a lot of cap on the internet. Our passport is losing power. But to a lot of folks that travel, it doesn't really mean anything. You can go to certain places and you flash your passport and they'll move out of your way. So, I mean, don't get caught up sometimes. Don't get caught up sometimes in the whole social media thing where like, our power ranking is dropping. It really means nothing to you as the novice or the just recreational traveler. It may mean something to those high net worth individuals that want to make a significant investment in that country to get citizenship. But again, for the regular travelers, it doesn't mean too much to you.
So you're listening to Craig Henry. Craig, we got about 60 seconds left, and I know many people now are provoked. They want to learn more about how they can travel abroad, what they need. And let me tell y'all, Craig Henry, the founder and owner of the Travel Junkies, you want to connect with him. You definitely want to take trips with his company, because a lot of us, when we go to different places and we're worried about how they're going to be receptive of Black Americans, trust me, Craig's Travel Junkies, you want to take advantage of that. So Craig, really quick, how can people get in contact with you and or your Travel Junkies team?
Okay, very simple. On all of the socials is all the same. The Travel Junkies, that's TheTravelJunkees. And we have a website the same, thetraveljunkies.com. And our email address is info@thetraveljunkies.com. And you can also reach us, by direct dial or text at our number 312 area code 436-2008. And like I said, you'll just see us all over the socials. So reach out to us. We'll get you where you need to go around the world. We'll definitely maximize your
Slow that phone number down. What was it?
Okay, I'm sorry. It was area code 312-436-2008. And again, you can text us at that number and call us at that number. So
perfect timing. Craig Henry, founder and owner of the Travel Junkies. And this brother is the person you need to reach out to, as well as his team, if you are interested or just even are curious about traveling abroad. Craig, thank you so much for joining Homer and I. When we come back, Truth in the Morning. And we're actually going to put the Travel Junkies website link in our YouTube message board. When we come back, we're going to get into, guess what, y'all? Don't nobody want to have kids no more. That's right. The U.S. population is at risk because either folks don't want to have kids anymore, and there are a significant number of women right now over the age of 40 that are childless and have no intention of becoming a mother. So we're going to break that down, Homer and I. When you come back, we want to hear from you as well. Are you trying to have kids? And if you have kids, do you want any more? Or if you don't have kids, are you like, I'm good, DT. I'm good, Homer. This is Truth in the Morning with the legendary Homer Blow and DT on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Come in with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still messing with the negative energy. Every day I get on and say, the power of the tongue. Impulsive negative thoughts, reacting, and these kids watching you reacting all wild and crazy. The programming you watching on TV, the music. And now, like Security Mike said, it's popular to pop somebody. It's popular now. And these kids coming back to somebody's house. They coming to eat a meal at somebody's house. They hanging out with somebody in the neighborhood who got a house, who paying the rent. They hanging out with you. They may be your relative. They may be your buddy. That social acceptance is there. Understand what I'm saying? So when we really tired, we gonna cut it off. We gonna stop it.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
How is it possible for somebody to be found guilty of something and serve no jail time? How is it possible that someone can get a first offense misdemeanor when it comes to marijuana here in the state of Wisconsin and can face up to 6 months in jail, but 2 men who are convicted of murder get probation? This is not what justice is about. Why does this keep happening, Truth Nation? And why does it always seem like black people die and we don't get the justice that we deserve? How should we react to this? If you commit a crime, you must do the time. If you take somebody's life, you have to pay the cost. I don't care that it was an accident, because it does not make sense to me how someone can be murdered and somehow they get no time. Even if you accidentally kill somebody, you are still a murderer, especially when you plead guilty to felony murder. Marijuana will get you more time in jail than killing somebody, especially when it comes to a black man here in America, unfortunately.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles. The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
You're just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts, because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, good morning, good morning. This is the second hour of Truth in the Morning with your girl DT and the legendary, your cousin sub of the day, club sub of the day, the legendary Homer Blow. Homer, it's always so good to be live in the studio with you, breathing the same air as Homer Blow. Now, here's
Ditto.
Thank you. Let's talk about this headline. A new study shows that the number of childless women in the U.S. continues to rise. Now, before we start pointing fingers, or making assumptions,
yeah, because I was about to do this. I was about to do this,
right?
Go this away, go that away.
Well, here's the thing, Homer. This is not just about a statistic. This is like a whole shift of values. And the fact is that if our population is decreasing because nobody wants to have babies, there's some economic realities that are driving this. And it's not even, so when we talk about women, Black women especially, are really impacted by this because there's so many unmarried Black women over the age of 40, and there's so many unmarried women over the age of 40 that are Black that do not have children. And so historically, as women, we are often defined by whether or not we have a man or whether or not we have a child. And everything else comes second. Ain't nobody worried about what car the woman drives. Nobody's worried about what neighborhood the woman lives. Like, you remember Sinbad, the comedian, right? He talked about she could be on fries at McDonald's, working the fries. and it's like, hey, girl. But if the brother's on fries and he's like, hey, you better make me some fries and shut up. So there's a lot of conditioning that has shifted. We are literally, Homer, witnessing a cultural and generational transformation. So more women are now saying, I'm more than just a womb. I'm a leader. I'm a professional. I'm a creator. But let's be real. We need people on planet Earth. We need people in the country.
Yep, absolutely. And some, it's so many different folds here. Some are making a choice because they don't feel that they could be a good parent, and that seeing other people that they love and care about, and it's like the struggles that they go through, it's like, I don't want to deal with that. And then sometimes the lack of support from the biological father, and the things when you see other people, you're like, I don't want to deal with that. Why?
And see, that's everything you just said. So there's a study from the University of New Hampshire that literally produced this article about the number of childless women in the U.S. and how it continues to rise and the different impacts of that. Before we get further into this, we've got, and man, the Truth Talking text line and the UTIP message board is going crazy. Let's go to Deshanae on our Truth Talking text line. You are live, Deshanae, with Homer Blow and DT. What is your question or comment?
Good morning. How you doing, DT and Homer? I guess I'm a mom. I just dropped my daughter off, in all honesty. And if you want me to be honest, no, I was not ready for her. But then at the same time, this world is not set up, or at least this country is not properly set up for mothers. Especially as a black woman, we are already the birth rate when it comes to us giving birth. We're constantly burdened with whether or not the doctors are going to have our best interest at heart with even delivering the baby safely, from us without us dying. We die disproportionately to our white counterparts when it comes to having kids. And it's oftentimes it'll make you think, is it really worth having kids? Because even after we have the kids, everybody talks about pro-life, but then what are we doing to set up the mothers and the kids after they give birth? And a lot of that is kind of like, okay, so y'all want us to populate, but y'all are not making it easy for us to sustain that life. Even our own lives, we're stressing about our own lives. You think we got time or the energy to take care of a child, another human being? No, and they're not making it easy for us to do so. So I can understand why a lot of women are not trying to have kids. Even now, I feel like I was not ready whatsoever, but yeah, I'm still trying, and she's a blessing to me, absolutely, and I will never regret having my baby. But at the same time, could I have waited? Yes. Would I have not have had her? Yes. Honestly, truth be told, yes. But because it's just the way the system and the United States is set up for black mothers, and honestly, even mothers in general.
Thank you so much, Deshanae. And a lot of research is going into this, and as to Deshanae's point, the rising cost of everything, housing, the expense of raising children. Let's not even start talking about childcare. So there's a lot of things that people are just not able to do anymore when it comes to prioritizing having and raising children. And then you have, there's an increased educational and employment opportunities for women. So women now are being promoted into the C-suite. Now, when I say women, I mean white women. And that's a fact. That's not a feeling.
Yep.
I don't want anybody to think, here we go. That is a fact. Because we know that between the months of April and July, 350,000 black women are unemployed. But the societal changes. There's a lot of women that are just very career-oriented. They don't want to be seen as a baby producer or a baby-making machine. And then you had COVID-19.
Yeah.
And so this disruption basically made a lot of women sit down and reflect on, what do I want to do with my life once we get back to the new normal? Then you also have delayed childbearing. So women are getting to the point where they're getting to 45 and 50, and they're having babies later, but not enough to offset the fact that young women aren't having babies. So, Homer, I want to pick your brain on that. Before we do that, let's hear from Pat. Pat, you are live with the legendary Homer Blow and DT. What is your question or comment?
Good morning, Homer. Good morning, DT.
Great morning.
Great morning. It's a great topic. I feel like also we're forgetting about the health of women now due to the bad water and food and stuff. And, I know a lot of women who cannot have children because of fibroids and things like that. So I think black women's health, especially, like the caller said before, a lot of people are like overlooking us in the health department when it comes to childbearing or even being able to have a child. Thank y'all for listening.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
There are so many different nuances to this, and as we think about the things that a lot of women go through, the mental health of the women, I mean, it's a change. And one of the things, DT, that I've watched some people finally turn it around, and when I question and talk about children and people who have ladies who have children, and it's like they were always afraid, like even with the first caller saying, I would never regret. But when I asked the question, if you could have a do-over, stop thinking about it like you don't love your kids if you say, yes, I would. Like just keep it real. Like if you think about what you could have done with your life without having a child, or if you could change the father of your child, would you do it? And more women are now starting to say yes, and they're not feeling guilty, like saying, because I don't like the kids that I got. It's like, no, I do. But if I had a choice,
absolutely, that would be applicable to me. Kathy, maybe Kathy's got some input on the decision-making factors. You are live with the legendary Homer Blow and DT. What is your question or comment?
Good morning. This is my question. It was 6 of us in the family. I wanted children. I didn't have any. It was 6 of us in the family, and only 2 had kids. But I work in the courts, and the kids for the Greenville State Child Support. There's a lot of people having kids. So I'm not sure if it's a racial barrier or educational level, because a lot of people I know that are very well educated, got degrees, black people, and white. They don't really have children. I mean, I can name them on my hand now, and if they do, they may have one. So I don't know if that survey is for white women who's trying to get ahead and don't have kids. And a lot of white men I see, I know a lot of people, they don't want children. It's kind of selfish in the first place, okay? Maybe some brothers, black people may not want to have them, but the ones I know that have the most children, because I was very diversified since I was a kid with different races of people, are the Asians and Hispanics. That's in my world. But a lot of my friends, I can't even count on my hand. We don't have any children, and I'm disappointed at myself that we don't. But I may have waited too long. I think some people might have waited too long.
Yeah,
going to
that's
services
another reason.
every day to church. Yeah, and the other going to church saying you should have a child out of wedlock because it's kind of put you at a disadvantage. And people kind of talk about she had all these kids, she don't have anybody with her, anything like that. So I kind of felt bad about that. But as I got older, I said to myself, maybe I should have had 4 or 5. Who cares if I was on welfare? The world doesn't even care about that if the kids are out of wedlock and on welfare. And 90% of the women in Wisconsin around this country, black, I can say it, and you can check it out. They're not married and they have children. They're not even married. But what about the men? Do men want children? Because I waited a while, thought maybe I would get married, and that might be the same with a lot of women who are, I would say, a little bit more educated and know where they're headed, where they're going. They want a family unit. We were raised in a family unit. And a lot of even my cousins, we don't have a lot of kids in our family. I don't know if that's by design or what, but the good Lord never gave me any. And I used to look around and look for foster kids. I was afraid because I didn't want the kids that have problems out here in the community. I wasn't going to deal with that. So I chose that to be big brothers, big sisters, and pick on friends' kids. But there's not a lot of friends I know that have children.
Thank you so much.
So we got to look at that differently.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your perspective. And when we come back from break, I want to piggyback off of what Kathy just shared. So here's my question, and I'm going to start with Homer.
The reason that some women are not having kids.
What's the reason?
God.
Okay. I want to understand what that means. In addition, so here's my question for you, Homer, and Truth Nation. Is this rise in childless women about liberation, or is it about survival in a system that makes motherhood harder than it should be? And what does that mean for the future of the black family, the black economy? and our cultural legacy. Because if we're not having babies, and they've already, amended the reproductive rights because they want basically more white women to produce more white people. Let's get into it. So this is Truth in the Morning. We're going to come back and go right to Homer. Our Truth Talking text line, because when you say it's God, I want to know what that means. Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. You are listening to Truth in the Morning with DT and the legendary Homer Blow on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations, where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/Milwaukee WI.
Hey, Journey team, it's me, Coach Erica. The clock is ticking. Are you being intentional each day? Is your mindset in the right place? Are you financially planning for your future? Do you have life insurance? What are you waiting on? Allow me to assist you on your journey to success. Visit ericaodomjourney.com today or email me at ericaodom@odomhomes.com. Let's take this next step together.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
We're black. I am the legendary Homer Blow, along with...
This is your cousin sub of the day, Steak and Cheese, DT.
Yes. Now, God is, you wanted to know what I mean.
Yes, that was a heavy statement, Homer.
Well, again, more people are going to church. And as it was stated, wedlock, out of wedlock. So because people are listening and saying, you know what, are we going to get married? I don't want to have a child out of wedlock. So God has stopped the black population from populating because more black women are attending church and they want to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired of hearing about their mothers, their grandparents that all had children out of wedlock. and that is not the divine order. So with that not being the divine order, some women have said, I'm saving my ovaries, saving my eggs until I'm married. And I don't want to get married. So there goes the population.
And the economic impacts are for real. Because, no, I'm
whispering because
look at Andrew. He's loving
supposed to be able to say that out loud.
Okay. But what you said needs to be said out loud, because in the Black community, we've always centered, contrary to popular belief, we've always centered family. The aunties, the godmamas, the mentors, the faith leaders, the community leaders, they have all played vital parenting roles. You know, the uncles. Even when I was raising my children as a single parent, I always made sure that my son had healthy relationships with male father figures. I mean, his father is in his life. They have a relationship, but we weren't together. And so to kind of compensate for that absence, I wanted to make sure that Darren had that. So Black folks, we have always centered around family. And it's, again, we got to get into this topic because this is not just a woman issue. This is a community issue. Because childless or not, how do we define fulfillment, purpose, and legacy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm the last Thomas.
People aren't concerned with legacy anymore. And that's a sad reality. Brittany Ferguson on the Truth Talk text page said, proud mom of 5, yes, I would do over. And you know, more women, when I was saying that, more women are coming into like, you know what? Yeah, I would. It ain't that I don't love my kids. And she admits I'm a proud mom of 5, but if she could have a do-over, she would. So, you know, and we are taught that you got to deal with it. You lay down and, you know, you made it happen. So, and then we also got to look at the openness to people not having to try to hide their true feelings of who they are. So now if you add into the equation that a lot of women are finding love with women, and you cannot procreate if it's women and women.
And there are a number of queer couples that adopt.
Right. And then you have more men that are openly accepting and not being afraid to say that, hey, I'm in love with another man. You know, so each of those factors, you know, you can go to a sperm center, you get what I'm saying? And in vitro fertilization, but the natural order is disrupted in many ways, and also with women who are deciding to say, I just don't want kids.
Just like on the YouTube message board. And Anik, we're coming to you right now. Tasanya on our YouTube message board says, my oldest said that she can only afford herself, and she's 35 and has said no, to your point, Homer, to motherhood. So let's hear from Anik. Anik, thank you so much for your patience. You are live with Homer and DT. What is your question or comment?
Hey, good morning. My name is Hanif, Hanif, Hanif.
Hanif. Okay.
I wanted to comment.
Yeah, you see me looking at you, Andrew. Go ahead, brother.
Because the you know, out of all races of people, when I when I hear this topic, out of everybody, we're the only race of people who've been taught to view the natural, normal order of things as something that's negative and bad. Because when other races of people get pregnant, say if they're in a relationship, they don't fall into depression. They're happy because they're adding on to their numbers. We as Black people, our women fall into a depression. The men fall into a depression. because a lot of us don't know what type of life this child is going to live, the different things that this child is going to be exposed to. But then we have but ever since we were young, you were taught that it was a bad thing to create life, when that's the only thing real on this planet. You can go and build a house, work and make a lot of money, but the only thing real is procreating life and growing life. But we've been taught that it's a negative. So therefore, after being taught that it's a negative, give us like 45 years, say from 1965 on up to today. Like, what's that? Like 60 years. So you give us that time where we got introduced to it being a negative for us to procreate. Now we're barely having children unless they're out of wedlock. Unless they're out of, because most of our children are viewed as mistakes in our community. Because nobody plans on making children in the black community.
Well, not a lot, in my opinion.
See, but I wouldn't even say that though.
But when it comes down to the number of married couples and people saying, "Hey, well, we're going to lay down and make a child and create a great future for this child," that's not going on. If people out here laying down, having fun, then next thing you know, hey, I missed my period this month. My breasts are sore. Different things like that. And then now we're into it. The woman goes to her family. Oh, you done let that no good dude knock you up. He ain't even got no money. All these factors. So then the dude, he like, man, she done got pregnant on me. Right, but
and they don't even like each other.
Right.
Hanik, you bring up a great
you
point.
Don't like each other.
Yeah, they don't even like each other.
So
and they made a baby.
Call them Long Island
They don't even like each other.
Like that.
So by the time a lot of our women are 21, they're carrying a seed of someone that they don't even like.
Oh no.
All right.
And
Thank you, Hanik. We got to take a break.
We got to get ready to take a break.
Hanik.
So,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know what? I need to apologize to Hanik because I was like, well, we got to start doing better of understanding your truth may not be someone else's truth.
Absolutely.
And his truth is, from what I've seen more people having babies out of wedlock that don't like each other.
Right.
And I need to respect that.
Babies.
So, Hanik, thank you for calling in. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to break down some facts.
Yep.
The rising trend, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, is saying that nearly 1 in 5 women in the U.S. reach their 40s without having children. That is almost double the rate from the 1970s.
Hennessy, baby.
When we come back, let's take that to another level and really focus on the black community, because in the black community, which has been very, very controversial, black women are becoming more of the breadwinners, more of the business owners, and leaders at a historic level that has never taken place in the black community before.
Stuff clipped.
So when we go back, we're going to get into some of these cultural and social shifts, as well as what does it mean to be childless.
I only put the tip in, babies.
Without legacy. You're listening to the Truth in the Morning with your girl DT and the legendary Homer Blow. This is the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. We'll be back.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks. And enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened, and we know things happen, and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis, and he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a
water.
choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Well, we got an issue now in the Zoo interchange. The ramp from 894 northbound to eastbound 94 are blocked with a crash there. So just heads up with that. Again, northbound to eastbound 94, that ramp is closed right now because of a crash. Speaking of crashes, we do have this other one on 894 westbound, just west of 60th Street. The center lane still closed, so we got backup stretching back to Loomis. Beyond that, though, you do have delays from about 84th Street through the Hale up to about National Avenue. Northbound on 4394, watch for backups around the Plainfield curve all the way up towards the KK River. On southbound 43, we've got backups from about Good Hope Road all the way down to North Avenue. So just give yourself that extra time as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, a slight morning sprinkle near the lake, otherwise partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 71. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 57. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Tune into the award-winning 101.7 The Truth's Black Business Give Black Spotlight this Friday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be joined by Renell Williams, Chief Creative Officer of VYZ. He will discuss why he launched a clothing and lifestyle brand and what inspires him every day. So again, that is the Black Business Give Black Spotlight with VYZ this Friday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. We're black.
All right, y'all, if you're just tuning in, according to the United States Census Bureau, nearly 1 in 5 women in the United States reach their 40s without having children. That is almost double the rate from the 1970s. And this is not a small shift. This is like a literal generational redefinition of womanhood and family. So a lot of folks are saying, wait a minute, hold on. The U.S. population is decreasing, and we need more white babies because we need more white people, because the populations that have traditionally been pushing out the kids is the brown and black families. Now, child care costs in the U.S., are you ready for this? Average over $11,000 a year per child. And then you've got the college tuition. So a lot of folks are saying, I'm good. I can barely take care of myself. I'm good on having kids. Now, speaking of kids, why is my son calling me? He knows I'm on the air.
Hey, a lot of Hispanic women, they don't have the same mindset that we have.
And that's culture too, and that's religion as well.
Yeah, they have
birth control is a no-no in the Hispanic community. Now, let's get into our community. Black women are now the breadwinners.
Yep.
Okay, nearly 80% of Black mothers are the primary breadwinners in their household. This is the highest rate among any racial or ethnic group in the United States. So this means that Black women aren't just contributing, they're holding it down. Look, I know some of the brothers is like, wait a minute, call in, 833.
It's hashtag facts.
It's facts. They're holding it down financially for their families and communities. Now, Black women are also the fastest growing number of entrepreneurs in the country. So between 2014 and 2019, the number of businesses owned by Black women grew by over 50% compared to just 9% for all businesses nationally. And today, there are more than 2.7 million Black women-owned businesses that are putting billions of dollars into the economy. Finally, Black women are earning college degrees at record levels. In fact, contrary to popular belief, Homer, Black women are the most educated demographic group in America when it comes to enrollment in higher education. So despite facing these systemic barriers, Black women are running nonprofits, we're climbing corporate ladders, we're leading in public service like never before. So when do we even have time?
Right.
And I'm saying this because I just said to Homer off the air during break, and I'll say this to Truth Nation. I am so glad I had my children at a young age. I had my first child at 18 and my second child at 21. Now, I am not condoning teen pregnancy or unwed pregnancy, but I will say this. Right now, there's no way I could have been a mother. There's no way. Because of everything that I just shared. And whether it's by choice or not, there is so many factors of why we are seeing a decline. And we're seeing an increase of Black women leading households, but we're seeing a decline in not just women as a whole, but in particular Black women. We're not getting married. Well, let me say it differently. Ain't nobody marrying us. We are not the chosen ones. So I'm just going to put the mic, I'm going to turn my mic off, Homer, and get your thoughts at Truth Nation. Our Truth Talk and text line is 833-212-1017.
Listen, a lot of women are coming into the reality of they've seen what some of their friends and what some of their family members deal with and have dealt with. And they're like, you know what? This ain't worth it. I want, and those that want to have a child, they want to have a child in love. Black women want to have a child that they can be like, yes, this is your father, I'm your mom, and we love, and they want the child to be in a loving atmosphere, not in one where there's domestic violence going on. Like that's over with. I mean, they grew up with that trauma. Some of them who ended up seeing their mother, they aunties, going through those situations and the yelling on the phone like, well, you made this baby. Why ain't you here? So it's like, you know what? Do I even want that kind of drama in my life? Yes, maybe I do want to have children, but it's too much right now, like the way that this is going, and some of their friends that they talk to that are having issues with the men stepping up to the plate because a lot of the men didn't really want to have a baby. And it's also a tug of war. And this is a whole nother topic that we could deal with at one point or another, where if the woman decides that she doesn't want to have the child because of her career or she just doesn't want it, she has that right to terminate that pregnancy. But if a man says, look, I ain't ready, I'm not financially able to support this, I'm having my baby, And now you're forcing him into a role that you made a decision of saying, I don't want it. So
wait a minute
so
now,
I'm
Homer.
just saying,
You're ruffling some feathers. So hold on, let me make sure.
I'm just saying, so that's why I said another topic at another time. But you got to put everything into the mix.
No, Homer. You can't. He's like, another topic. And then Gabrielle's like, right, Homer. Okay, hold on. So let me make sure I'm understanding what you're saying, Homer. When both parties are in alignment, and everything's copacetic.
Yeah.
But when the woman informs the man, who, by the way, knows what it takes to get a woman pregnant.
Absolutely.
It takes two people.
And she knew it too.
Okay. But just stay with me.
I got you. Follow me. But
she's like, she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like,
hey, man.
That or you're not having it, are you? Yes, I'm going to have it. And he's like, oh, well, then I'm not going to have anything to do with that baby. Because she wants to have it and he doesn't, despite it being consensual sexual intercourse and knowing what it takes to make a baby, that's okay for him to be like, I'm not.
No, it's not.
Okay, because I was like, come on, Homer.
No, what I'm saying is when a woman feels that it will interfere with her goals.
Phonetics, Gabriel. Phonetics are calling and let me hear how you say your name, because now I'm starting to get, just call in and say, Denise, this is how you correctly pronounce my name. I cannot hear what you're texting. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so, the thing is, if the woman feels that she is not ready to have a child, even though she know that she allowed this to happen, that she consensual sex, but when she finds out she's pregnant, the man is excited. He wants this will be his first child, or maybe it'll be his third child, but he's excited. And she like, you know what? Nope, this would just tear what I got going on. I'm trying to become an RN. I'm trying to become this. I've just started college or whatever the case may be. And she doesn't want to have it. And that man still wants it. And she says, I'm getting rid of it. Now he's torn up and heartbroken, but it's like my body, my choice. And I get it. I understand. But when that man says, look, I am not financially sound. I know that we had consensual. I know that you could have conceived, but I'm not ready to be a father. I'm not. I don't care if you're ready to be a father or not. You shouldn't have had sex with me then. You get what I'm saying? So, but we had sex together and you said, I'm not ready for a baby. I'm not going to, this will destroy what I got going on. We understand that it's the reality that y'all get to make that decision, but me, Doc B, and Teju, we always said that it should be a contract. We should be able to sign contracts because y'all get to say that you don't want it, and that's just what it is, regardless if the man was going to be his firstborn. None of that matters. It matters how she feels about it. So now you're going to try to force someone to be a father who you already knew.
Wait a minute. What do you mean force someone to be a father?
You lucky we got to go to break.
Wait a minute. How am I forcing you?
You lucky we
got
to
I
go
ain't
to
lucky.
break. Yeah,
how am I forcing somebody?
We got to go to break.
Oh, now we got to go to break.
Yeah, we got to go to break. 42
Okay,
coming.
bet.
But we going to talk when we get Black DT.
Look, y'all done made me say bet. Now y'all can get Old Testament DT, okay?
Oh, it's
bet.
about
When
to
we
light
come
up.
back, come on. You're listening to Truth in the Morning with your girl DT and the legendary.
You did say Truth in the Morning, right? Okay.
When we come back, look at me side-eyeing Homer. And I never thought I would side-eye you. We're going to get more into this.
Yeah.
See,
Fellas, call, please.
Yeah.
833-212.
Call in and have your brothers back because I'm about to go in. All right, y'all. We'll stay locked in so we can hear my response
Can
to.
I take a break, Andrew?
The operative word for me was force. Really? 833-212-1017. Call in, brothers, because Homer is asking for your backup because I'm about to go in when we come back. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that That was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in Friday night as the Hilltoppers take on the Sussex Hamilton Chargers on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
So Homer is very strategic. He's going to provoke me.
Thank you.
At 8:45. We're in the ninth inning stretch of the morning show. But that's okay, because look, I'm going to take Enlightenment. We're going to go to Enlightenment's call. But I ain't forgot. As long as I got 60 seconds, that's all I need, Andrew, okay? But Homer, I'm coming back to you. Enlightenment, thank you so much for your patience. You are live with the legendary Homer Blow and DT. What is your question or comment?
Okay, so I got to take Homer's side on this one because I'm literally in the same situation. I was back and forth in my younger ages with my second baby mother, and I was on and off with a situation with her. And I met somebody who we were just friends with benefits. She had a man that was in jail that was supposed to have been getting out on my birthday, sometime towards March, and we was playing it safe for a while, but she ended up being pregnant, and I told her that I didn't want the baby because I wasn't ready, and I knew I was back and forth with my baby mama.
All right, Enlightenment, hold on. Let's stop right there. Let me ask you a question. And if you don't want to answer, I get it. Did you have unprotected sex with this woman?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right. Now, second question, and thank you for your transparency. Second question: do you know the process of conceiving a child?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I just want to make sure we clarify that before you continue. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the killer part, though. She only decided to keep the baby because she wanted to get back at my baby mother. So now, 2 years, 3 years later down the line, you really don't even want the child because now she's in my custody full time. So females operate off of emotions instead of logic because you just messed up a whole relationship that you had with a man.
No, he's right. This is what, Enlightenment, this is what's killing me right now. you know all the facts about what it takes to make a child. You know the dynamics of women. You know all this, but yet the pullout. You know what?
because I wasn't the same type of person. The person that you're talking to right now, I was completely immature. I didn't know all of the things that I know now. But that's why I say mistakes happen. But at the end of the day, you know,
Enlightenment, here's the thing.
Everything happens for a reason.
Anytime. Okay, and I'm going to be real with you, Enlightenment. And I've shared this many, many, many times. I have two. I'm New Testament DT now, so I'm going to put a little sophistication on it. My children have two different fathers. I was going to say I got two baby daddies, but that's old DT. Okay, so my children who are 27 and 30, they're adults now. I had my daughter when I was 18, and then I was pregnant again at the age of 21. Now, with my son's father. So two fathers, right? Now, I did the whole, you ain't no good. You weren't there. And you know what? Now that I'm old and grown, reflection, they showed me who exactly they were from day one. And we both consensually agreed to have sex without protection, not once, not twice, but several times. And so here's the reality. Damn. Regardless of the baby mamas and the relationships and the friendships and all that stuff, if you are an adult and you have sex, consensual sex with another adult, and at 18, you're what? Legally, you're an adult. So you told me, Enlightenment, you know what it takes to make a baby. You told me that you knowingly did not put a condom on. So regardless of the dynamics, brother, you literally walked into potential parenthood, and it resulted in actual parenthood. And you got to own that.
You lay in the bed.
I had to own it.
You lay in the bed. You make the bed. You got to lay in it. That's
it
what
ain't
happens
rocket
when
science.
we ignore the red flags from God.
Yeah.
So these kids now they didn't got smart because they didn't watch us and took notes. And so they're like, not only do we want them, but if we are going to engage in unmarried or unprotected sex, we're going to do it in a way to where, so at the end of the day, we got to stop pointing fingers. The bottom line is this: quit sleeping with people that you don't like. Because and if you want to go there, see, I wasn't even going to say this, but I'm going to say it to you, Enlightenment. I know a lot of men.
See, I'm married now, so that ain't no problem with me no more. I'm married now.
Enlightenment, let me just say this with you, brother, because in Homer, I'm going to look at your face when I say this too.
Yes, absolutely.
I am so tired of these men out here who love you know what, but do not like women. And you know what I mean when I say that. See, there's a difference because you got a lot of brothers out here who resent women based on their upbringing. Maybe they were raised in an all-woman household. So we got to get down to the root causes of this because you got a lot of men out here who are heterosexual, love having sex with women, but don't like women. I will say that one more again.
That's true.
You got a lot of men out here who are hurt, who resent women, who had bad experiences with their aunties, their mom, their sisters, you know, the black girls at school, and just flat out do not like women. But because they're straight, because they have sexual drive, they want to sleep with women. And the reason why Enlightenment, we got to start owning that is because it is deeper than, it is the fundamental psychological issues that black men and black women have with each other, which goes all the way back to slavery. Because again, as I said before, the first thing
it's a generational curse
that the slave masters did as soon as we got off the boat is divide the family because they know that family is the foundation. And what we continue to do, Enlightenment, is let systemic racism allow us to point fingers at each other versus saying, you know what? I can't even be mad at you for wanting to have that baby because at the end of the day, I knew exactly what I was doing when I slept with you without a condom. I can't even be mad. That's on me. And we have to be more honest, and we also have to get rid of this resentment because there's too many of us that resent black women but want to sleep with black women, and you need to get healed and get your feelings straight before you start attacking and pointing fingers. Own your mess.
And I feel that with some of these situations where it's not the ones that hate, it's a matter of communication. Like, you have to really find out where these people are before indulging in sex.
Yes.
So you have to find out, are you pro-life or pro-choice? If you were to get pregnant after we have consensual sex and I didn't want the child, would you be willing to get rid of the child? And those are the things, those are the conversations that I tell people all the time. Like, you have to have these conversations.
Preach.
And when you have that conversation, then the woman knows and the man knows. But in the end, though, some people, even when they have those conversations, the woman can still say, I'm not ready.
And that's that conversation.
Yeah, but even when they say it, like, okay, the man said, well, you know, I'm pro-life, and if you get pregnant, I want my son or I want my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she can be like, okay, I understand. And then all of a sudden, you know what? It's going to interrupt my career. It's going to interrupt that. And I'm not going to keep the baby. And now the man is toe up. And now he becomes, in my opinion, sometimes one of those men that want to get the prize, but doesn't want to take the responsibility that comes along with it.
And Homer, I got to underscore what you said, because that's the fundamental root cause of why we are in this situation, because we don't ask those responsible questions and have those conversations.
Yeah, and the hard conversation.
Sexual discipline, it is hard.
Yep.
And because everything now is sex, sex, sex. I mean, it's been like that, but it's even more celebrated. You know, having casual sex and all that stuff. Its bottom line is this: like Michael Jackson taught us, if you can't feed the baby, then don't make the baby. And if you sleep with someone, know that even if it's 1% chance, there is a chance that this woman, because of my sperm, may get pregnant. So let's have that conversation, because sexual discipline and sexual abstinence, they're two different things, but they correlate, because at the end of the day, quit sleeping with people you don't like.
Yeah. You know.
Or don't know.
Well, you know, the Hot 40 changes the dynamics of things.
Oh, my God, RC Creation Muse. Y'all are killing me. Like that. He says the woman is the gatekeeper.
Daddy Roll, listen, I am going
so glad I had my kids early.
I'm going to Dallas for the Meal Tech. Shout out to Lydell Ruffin at Signature Events. I'm the event the entertainment coordinator. We'll be there all weekend. We're going to be at the Tailgate Live doing a big watch party. The legendary Home of Blow. DT, I love you.
I love you so much. Likewise.
You so much. And it's my honor every time I get to work with you. Yeah.
The feeling is so mutual.
All right. Love you, babes. Talk to my agent. I'm up out of here. I'm getting ready to have a great weekend.
Can I just say one more thing? Yes, Creation Muse, you are lying, because you can't. 5 hours of Black Talk Radio. We love you. I'll see y'all soon. Peace out.